Big Buddy God did it again. You woke up on the right side of the dirt, so let's give God a praise. This is John Lakin and Friends. What's up, everybody? This is your boy, John Lakin, and welcome to John Lakin and Friends. Welcome to John Lakin and Friends. We have an incredible show lined up for you. Today, we're going to lift up a praise that says, Lord, I want you to help me.
I said, Lord, 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 I need you to help me. Hey, I said, I can't make it without you. Father, help me. I want you to help me. On my journey. Help me on my way. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, I want you to help me. Oh, I said, Lord, 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 I need you to help me. That's it. You're the only friend I have. Need you to help me. I want you to help me on my journey. Help me on my way. Oh, Lord, I want you to help me. 'Cause you know my body's and my faith. Oh, I gotta keep on beating on your everlasting. Don't you know that I'm calling on you? Yes, sir, I need your come on and take me out. Yeah, I want you to help me. Help me, Lord. Oh, help me, Lord. I said somebody needs you. Help me. Oh, help me, Lord. Oh, help me, Lord. Somebody wants you to help me. Help me, Lord. Help me, Jesus. Help me. Oh, help me. Come on, let's get out of here. I don't want to stay there all night. I said, Lord, 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 I need you to help me. Hey, I said, I can't make it without you, Father. I want you to help me on my journey. Help me, Lord. Oh, Lord, I want you to help me. You know my body. I'm sorry. Oh, I gotta keep on leaning on your everlasting. Don't you know that I'm holding on? Stay right there, said I'm holding on. Stay right there, said I'm right now calling you Jesus. Right now calling you Jesus. It might be morning. It might be evening. It might be late in the midnight hour. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. That's how they insult to the country. God bless you.
Come on, church. Come on.
For over 100 years, the Holly family has been helping families honor their loved ones. When it's time, let our family help your family celebrate the life of those you love. J.P. Holly Funeral Home and Crematory, family owned and operated since 1970.
Good morning. I'm filled with a great deal of excitement and Jesus' joy to be privileged to share with John Lakin and Friends this morning. When making a decision or facing a dilemma, to whom do you listen? Whoever has your ear has your destiny. We make decisions based on the advice we receive from others. If we listen to the wrong person, we'll be given the wrong advice. If given the wrong advice, we will make the wrong decision. When we make the wrong decision, we end up at a place where God never intended for us to reside. Solomon says in the 3rd chapter, Proverbs, verses 5 and 6, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Let our awesome God be your primary consultant. When you consult with God first, then you are enabled a wisdom that comes from who he is and divine guidance, not only in making decisions, but in actions that are taken. Consult God. let God your leader be. May the Lord bless you, one and all. This has been Charles Bless Jackson Sr., Senior Pastor of the Brookland Baptist Church, West Columbia, South Carolina.
Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends, and we are super excited to have a young lady running for County Council for District 11, Miss Eva Young-Prioleau. How are you doing today?
I am doing fabulous.
We are so excited to have you here on John Lakin and Friends. And so now, of course, we are very aware that we're in an election cycle right now, and you're running for County Councilman or Councilwoman of District 11. What do you hope to bring to the county?
I currently have worked in Richland County government for 27 years.
Okay, I was just about to ask you. So let's talk about these qualifications and what you've done professionally over the last 27 years. Go ahead.
Okay, so I worked in Richland County Department of Public Works for 27 years. And prior to that, it was state, 6 years. So I have 33 years in government infrastructure. And so I worked in the Public Works Department, and that's the biggest service area of Richland County. Public Works, it has the divisions of road maintenance, solid waste, stormwater, engineering.
Yes.
And I managed the administration division. So I was a general manager for the Department of Public Works. And I've often been told I am the glue. I was the glue that kept it all together.
Oh, my word. Okay,
yes.
Well, we're certainly in a season where our political climate could use some glue. And so how do you plan on bringing that glue to Richland County?
So and 27 years ago, as I've already said, I was hired. 20 years into that, the Lord placed it in my heart to go and serve the community.
Yes.
So at that point, I was an administrative assistant, but I realized that council made a lot of decisions for the community.
Wow.
And in realizing that, and of course that Holy Spirit was placed there upon me to learn the area of public works so that I can ensure that we get the services we deserve. And so fast forward that from 20 years into 27 years, that's exactly where it was. And so what I asked the Lord to do for me was, okay, Lord, so if you're placing this on me, this passion was just there and it never left, then align it. Perfectly aligned it where I can go and serve the people. Because in Isaiah, that's what it tells you, go ye, right?
That's what it says.
Yeah, and so that's what I did. And so fast forward 27 years now, it was perfectly aligned.
Wonderful.
And I will use my experience in primarily the solid waste division. So about a year ago or 2 years ago at the table, because I was at the table discussing with management about the services of, the drop-off center of Richland County solid waste.
Well, we just recently had quite a stir about the drop-off center.
Exactly.
And so what would be your ideas to make sure that the community gets what the community desires? So
the drop-off center there at Lower Richland cannot hold the capacity. So 2 years ago, I was having that conversation with management within Public Works. Cannot hold the capacity. The District 11 have 37,000 residents.
Wow.
Now, the drop-off center services District 11, but it also services District 10. So it cannot hold the capacity. So I was talking it up 2 years ago. We need to expand the services there at the drop-off center, not to place it where, and as you know, the hot ticket here is the heart of the heart of Lower Richland, which was Lower Richland Air Base, not to place it there, but let's expand it where it is, so that we
From our understanding, it was simply a proposal. It wasn't necessarily something that came up to council yet, but all of those things would have to come through county council. Am I correct?
Absolutely. And the discussion started with management of solid waste.
Okay.
So a year ago, 2 years ago, we realized that drop-off center could not hold the capacity.
Wow. And so my last question I want to ask you is, how has your faith prepared you for the responsibility of running for such an office?
In realizing that the Lord placed it on my heart 20 years ago, I knew if we're relying on Him to say, if you perfectly align it, then I'm going to listen.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I no longer asked Him, why me? Why not me?
Yeah,
right?
That's a good question.
So my faith, and with the alignment of everything perfectly aligned, I listened to the Lord and I said, okay, so Lord, it's time.
Yes.
It's time to give back to the community. And if the community will have me, because it's ultimately the community's decision to decide who in this election of Council District 11 that they would want to serve them.
My name is Betty Spells Price. I'm the president and CEO of Cobra Construction and Design Incorporated, a general contracting and construction management firm located in the heart of Columbia, South Carolina. Our clients include educational facilities, religious institutions, retail establishments, administrative buildings, and so much more. We specialize in creating beautiful spaces with functionality and community at the heart. As God blesses us, we bless others. Our dream is to make your dream come true. Cobra is the one-stop shop for all of your construction needs.
Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends, and I am super excited to have a woman of the community, our county councilwoman in the Lower Richland community, Miss Chakisse Newton. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. We are so excited to have you on the program. Of course, you know, we're in the middle of our election season, and there are so many issues that our community is having to face. How long ago were you elected as county councilwoman?
It's been about 3.5 years. First ever campaign, I ran in 2018, was sworn in 2019. So I tell people I had one regular year.
Yes.
2 COVID years, and whatever this is.
I hear you.
Whatever this is.
And so what's one of the accomplishments of your tenure as county councilwoman that rings true, that sticks out to you, that's like, I'm proud that I was a part of this?
Sure. Well, I don't know if you remember the bad old days from before COVID when all it was scandals about the penny. Is the penny going to fix our road?
Oh, yeah.
Is there going to be enough money? And a lawsuit here and a lawsuit there. Well, one of the things that I'm proud about when we came in is my very first presentation. You're not going to believe it. I'll show it to you. They showed me a graph. And it said, in a few months, you're going to run out of money in your administrative budget. And I said, wait, what? It's like, I just got here.
Yeah.
It's already real. And so one of the things that we did is we said, we need to make sure that this program delivers on the promises that it made. Because when people voted for it, they voted for specific roads.
Yes.
And it went over budget in so many places that there wasn't going to be money to continue. And so what we did and fought really hard for in my one regular year was wait a minute. Let's get this right. Let's bring the program in-house so that we can save some money. Let's not just do a project. I was at a meeting one day and they said, okay, this road's gonna be $30 million over budget. And I said, okay, well, what are we gonna do about it? And they're like, well, we're gonna figure it out. And I was like, we're gonna figure that out now.
Wow.
We're gonna figure that out now. So,
Yes.
so what we did was, we stopped the program. If the road or project hadn't started, we said, let's adjust the budget. Let's look at it. Let's say, this is what we said we were going to do. What can we do? But let's prioritize it and be fair and equitable. Let's look at the communities that need the roads. Let's look at the schools. So we went from where it was going to be not enough money to finish the programs to, okay, now we have $51 million that we can see what we can play with. And just a few weeks ago, we added about 50 million more. So that went from you don't have any money to now we can make sure that we can do the roads, including increasing the funding that's going to go to some areas in District 11, like the Lower Richland Road widening.
Wow. Okay, that's very, very impressive. How has your faith helped you to navigate through those difficult seasons of public policy? Because anybody who is a public servant,
Yes.
they have a lot of attack. They have a lot of...
Absolutely.
There's a lot of good that you see, but there's also a lot that you have to brave through. How has your faith helped you through that season?
So I was campaigning last time, and I was talking to one of my constituents. Her name's Juanita. And I was just feeling a little bit discouraged because of all those attacks that were coming on every side. And every now and then, or a lot of times, there are some things that weren't quite true. And I just said, gosh, I really wish I knew if people were believing this. And she looked at me, and she said, Chakisse, she said, don't worry about it. She said, because what the Lord has for you is for you.
That's true.
And at that moment, it was a release, and I just felt so much peace.
Yes.
And that's just how I had to look at it. What the Lord has for me is for me. And then I just keep going out there every day and trying to create my fruits, right?
That's it.
And so that's what I do.
Buy Smart Auto Group, professional concierge dealers, want to help you purchase your next car. There is a dealer capable of finding you any car that you desire anywhere in the United States. And not only can they find the car for you, they can help you get the car financed and delivered right to your very home. To reach the good people at Buy Smart, all you have to do is come to 6729 Two Notch Road, Columbia, South Carolina. Or you can visit our website at buysmartautogroup.com. Buy Smart Auto Group, and tell them John Lakin sent you.
I'm Jermaine Johnson, and I approve this message.
My name is Evan Johnson. I am a pharmacist, and I'm Jermaine's wife. He's a busy bee. He works constantly. Family is home base. He's had challenges in his life, so his main goal is to be a wonderful dad. That dependency and knowing that he's very supportive. He wants what's best for you no matter what. That's something that can't be bought.
Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends, and y'all, I am super excited to have candidate for governor of South Carolina. She is an incredible senator. I mean, she is a beautiful, wonderful black queen doing boss lady things in the world. We have Senator Mia McLeod. How are you today?
I'm doing great,
Oh
John.
man, we're so excited to have you on John Lakin and
Thank you.
Friends.
Thank you.
First off,
Good to be here.
Yeah, let's get to know you now. Where are you from?
I'm from Bennettsville, South Carolina.
Oh,
Born and raised.
That sounds like the country.
Oh, it is the country.
Now, did y'all shell peas and all of that
Oh,
growing
all of
up?
that.
And, okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
definitely shelled peas.
I did. You literally grew up in the country.
I did.
And then you went to college. What college did you
did.
attend?
University of South Carolina
Oh,
in Columbia.
That's a good place.
That was my first taste of the big city.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then you went on to law school, I'm sure.
I did at USC.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just couldn't get away. You fell in love with the city.
Fell in love with the city.
That's all
and yeah, it was. I enjoyed my time at USC. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, what year did you graduate from USC?
Undergrad in '90.
Okay.
And law school in '95.
Okay.
I went and worked for a little over a year and a half
Yeah.
at the South Carolina Chamber of Commerce, and then went to
cut
law
it out.
school.
Now, so how long have
Thank
you
you.
actively been in politics?
So I have actively been in politics in terms of serving
Yes.
for 12 years,
Wow.
6 in the House and 6 in the Senate. But
Okay.
before that, when I graduated law school, I went to work for a Republican Attorney General by the name of Charlie Condon
Cut it out.
at a time when our state was #1 in the nation for women who are murdered by men as a result of domestic violence. And we did
Wow.
great work.
Wow.
Started the first evidence-based prosecution program in the state.
Okay.
And that program is still in use today.
Wow.
Even though the administrations have changed
Mhm.
and their priorities have changed as it relates to funding. So
Yes.
we still have a lot of work to do when it comes to domestic violence. But now,
Oh,
you know, I'm in the General Assembly
Okay.
trying to continue to move the needle as
Yes.
it relates to that. Yeah.
Wow. So so 12 years you've been actively involved in politics.
Yes.
What are some notable contributions that you've been able to make to society since you've served in that space?
So since I've been serving, one of the most notable things that I believe I've done is when a Spring Valley student was violently thrown out of her desk in her classroom,
Oh, yes.
and the video went viral. You
I
remember that?
Yes.
I learned that there was a disturbing schools law that had been on the books for decades. And it had sent, that one law allowed school resource officers to go into students' classrooms, and it was feeding the school to prison pipeline. At that point, I discovered that over 30,000 South Carolina students had gone from their classrooms into DJJ. And I
Jesus.
could not figure out why nobody was talking about that, why nobody was outraged about that. And so I attempted to change that law. And wasn't successful in the House, but as soon as I got elected to the Senate, that very same year, I reintroduced the bill and got overwhelming bipartisan co-sponsors and support. It passed unanimously out of the South Carolina Senate.
Wow.
And this was in 2018.
That's rare.
It is, and overwhelmingly out of the South Carolina House. So today, the only times a school resource officer can be called into the classroom is if a student commits a crime at school, if they communicate a threat, because we have to take those seriously, or if they are suspended or expelled and refuse to leave the school premises or return to the school grounds to do somebody harm. So I'm really proud of that because, I mean, who knew that over 30,000 students went to school and ended up at DJJ?
And had no one to advocate for them.
Right.
Wow.
And to have, a huge role in changing that law.
Yes.
And making our schools safer for our students is a tremendous, it's very rewarding to know that I had a small part in doing that.
Do you feel like you are free to express yourself fully, being a Black woman in a powerful, male-dominated role or society? Because it's very easy to be labeled the angry Black woman or angry, bitter Black woman, any of those things. Right. So how do you handle people coming at you, and how do you respond to that gracefully?
Well, I do feel like, it is definitely a delicate balance.
Oh, yeah.
But I am very open and transparent about who I am. And, I'm not going to take any stuff off of Republicans or Democrats.
Come on.
And I've been labeled an angry Black woman and worse. I've been called a baby killer because I'm fighting for women's reproductive rights and freedoms, knowing that these folks who call themselves pro-life care nothing about the living. I've been exposing the Republicans' hypocrisy and some of our Democrats as well. And it's not an easy place to be. I've always said that, for those of us who have an independent mind and an independent voice and aren't afraid to speak up for the people, politics is a very nasty and lonely place to be. And so I knew that going in. The Republicans have come for me every time I've been up for re-election to the South Carolina Senate. Politics is not easy. Definitely not for strong Black women.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
and
true.
I've been surprised at how even some of our strong Black men come for us faster than they do some of our white male counterparts. And it's
all right.
Yeah.
Now we got to talk about it now, because Twitter was certainly set on fire this week.
Yeah.
With different, I would say, with truthful banter. And so, how do you handle defending yourself when you see these things happening? What mindset does that put you in?
It really didn't. The endorsement itself didn't bother me at all. I expected it because, I refuse to play the good old boys games. And these are the games that they've been playing for years, especially those who served for 20 years or more. They are in this pay to play, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of environment. And that's what I've been fighting since I've been in office. So that, to me, was not new. But I just don't believe that a pro endorsement of my opponent should be an anti, campaign, smear campaign against me. If you support my opponent, that's your prerogative. That wouldn't have warranted a discussion or anything on Twitter. But to hear the minority leader use the Republicans' attack ads from 2016 to 2020, even though they didn't work for the Republicans either, it was troubling. And I felt like I had to defend myself. Be pro Joe. Just don't, you don't have to publicize the fact that you're anti-Mia. And I just wanted to be honest about why that was the case. And my name is all I have. And I am very particular about how and when I use it. And so I did not support his efforts to, elevate his wife. And I stand by that. And because of that, I'm getting dragged by him in the media and on social media. So
Yeah. So you're saying that it's just that the lack of appointment has nothing to do with anything personal.
Right.
Yeah.
Not for me. I mean, it wasn't personal when I refused to sign off on a magistrate appointment. It wasn't personal. I appointed 3 Black women to the Richland County Magistrates Court who are qualified because I know that the issues that they have to deal with every day. I mean, we're talking domestic violence, we're talking sexual assault, stalking, we're talking evictions. These are life-changing and sometimes life-threatening issues. And the people that we appoint to these positions need to be qualified. Full stop.
Yes.
And I'm just not willing to put my name on the line for somebody that I know is not qualified. It wasn't personal. I don't have any animus against her or him.
Yes.
But, you know, my name is my name. And I have every right to not push someone forward into a space that I know is critical to the county and to our state.
I want to give you a chance. There's so many people who may be on the fence or deciding who they want to put their support behind. So you could just take a moment and just look in the camera and just tell them why Senator Mia McLeod is the best option for governor of South Carolina.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I believe that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing election after election and expecting a different result. Everything we do at the state level impacts everything you do in your daily lives. And I want us to create together, I want us to create a South Carolina where all of us matter and all of us have an opportunity to thrive. A South Carolina where people earn at least $15 an hour. A South Carolina where Medicaid is expanded so that people like me who live with chronic health conditions won't continue to fall through the cracks. A South Carolina where we work together to get guns off our streets and out of the hands of those who are seeking to do us harm. We have a real opportunity this year to make sure that we change this state and the trajectory of our state. I just don't believe you should have to know somebody to be somebody who matters in this state. And together we can change that. So I'm here because I'm running for governor and change is coming to South Carolina. And with your help and your support on June 14th, or if you vote early by June 10th, she's gonna look a lot like me.
Wow.
So let's change this state together.
Good morning, everybody. My name's John Lakin. I just wanted to ask y'all to go subscribe to my Uncle John's YouTube channel, hit that notification bell so y'all can get notified whenever a video is posted. And also, make sure you visit his website at www.johnlakin.com. My name's John Lakin, and I'm here with John Lakin and Friends. Indeed.
Welcome back to John Lakin and Friends. We're about to get out of here, but right before we leave, I got a few people I got to shout out. Miss Mary Reese, we send love to you. Also to my old strings teacher, Miss Christy Lewis, we send love to you. Let me tell you something. Everybody, you better make sure you go out and vote. You cannot complain if you don't make your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard by going to the polls Tuesday to vote. I don't care who you vote for, just get to the polls and do your thing. To those of you that are surviving the struggle, remember that God will get in it with you. Have an incredible Sunday.